Well, hello again, guys. It's Paul here from RoJoBe Music in Thailand, and the video today is the long-awaited and anticipated unboxing of the Kmise Baritone Ukulele. Here it is. Okay, so first of all, the box, as you can see, is a little bit battered. So I am perhaps a little bit concerned about what I might find inside, because with previous experience with Kami's suppliers, they're not over keen on packaging. So fingers crossed, let's hope it's okay. So here we go, the trusty knife. Let's get her unboxed and see what we got. Okay, here we go. It does look as though the tape has been cut and resealed before at some point, possibly at customs. I don't know why they would need to do that, as they have sophisticated scanners to see what's inside these packages, so there's no need to open them, but who knows, maybe I'll find an empty box. I hope not, after all this waiting. Okay, right, the big reveal. Right, okay, so here we are. So they do come as standard with a very nice gig bag. And again, from previous experience, I know that these gig bags are good. Okay, it comes as part of the package, but they're not the really thin nylon rubbish plastic bags. Okay, so you won't really be able to tell it, but nicely padded, not overly thick, but thick enough to protect them against the normal bumps and scrapes. So an ideal gig bag, really. And there it is. Ooh. Okay, now also it does come with a bag of accessories. I'll come to those later, okay? I know you're all waiting to see this as much as I am. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we've got. Ooh. Oh, there she is. What? Getting the camera angle wrong. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, there it is. Look. Actually, before I go any further, I'll just show you, for those who are interested, the model number of this particular one is MI2180. That's from Kmise. Kmise MI2180. That's actually different to what it showed on the advert. It said it was a UK 30, UK 30, which I presume just means ukulele 30-inch. So let's have a look at the label inside. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that, but that confirms it is a model MI2180. Yes, very nice. Okay, so overall impressions. Well, let's take a look at the headstock first. Okay, now that Kami's logo is actually inlaid. It's not a sticker. They used to do them with stickers, and they were okay, but previous experience shows that they do come off in time. So this one is inlaid, and it's done really well. You cannot feel the edges at all. Beautiful. Doesn't look as though it's mother of pearl or anything like that. Actually, closer inspection, this is not inlaid. It's a print. That's a shame, because I know that some of them do come with it inlay. Even so, it's much, much better than the sticker. That's not going to come off, okay? So we've got the labels of authentication here. Kmise, music is my faith and the pursuit of my life. Wow, deep. And a little tag here that shows that it comes with Aquila Super Nile Gut strings. Now I know some of you don't like those. Me personally, I think they're okay. I use them on all of my ukuleles. The Aquila Nile Gut strings. Maybe they're not the best on the market, but personally, myself, I think they're great. I think they're okay. If you want to use other strings, entirely up to you. Okay, let's just take that off. So the tuners themselves, standard closed geared tuners with chrome buttons. I'm assuming they're metal. I think so. So there it is in its full glory. Now, let's just show you the back and sides as well. Oh, wow, look at that. And the back. Wow. That is beautiful. Really nice. So the top is solid spruce. Now you can tell if it is solid wood if you look inside the sound hole, around the edge of the sound hole. You'd have to have a really close look, and I can't show it on the camera here, it's not really going to show up, but you look at the grain of the wood from the top and you should see that follow through into the edge of the sound hole. So the grain will go in that direction, up and down through the sound hole. If you see any kind of grain going around it, it's laminate, okay? So this is a solid spruce top. The back and sides are walnut. They'll be laminate. If you look inside the back, you can see grain of wood, and that actually matches the grain on the outside, which would normally suggest that it's solid wood. I'd be surprised if this is, because of the price, which I'll come to right at the end of the video. So I'm assuming the back and sides are laminate to keep the cost down, but because of that, they're able to give you a lot more within the rest of the instrument. So as I said, the top is solid spruce. The bridge and the fretboard are also walnut, solid walnut, and it's hard to tell, but this fretboard is really dark and it has some streaks, very light streaks in the wood. Faint, I mean, we can't really see them that much, but it is really, really nice. It's got a really nice abalone inlaid rosette, assuming it's inlaid. Yes, it is. And you can't really see it, but binding all the way around top and back. And that's been done really, really well. So also the saddle and the nut are real bone, okay? And wow, I've just noticed, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but that is a compensated saddle. So most ukuleles, they'll just come with a normal straight saddle, but this one is compensated. Now what that means is that you have a bevel cut into certain parts of the saddle, because the strings on an ukulele obviously all different thickness, just the same as a guitar or any other stringed instrument. So when you fret them, okay, they're going to stretch at different rates. So if the saddle is just uniform and straight all the way across, some of the strings might fret and intonate perfectly, whereas others might be a little bit sharp or a little bit flat. So that's the point of this compensated bridge. So they'll put bevels, angles in certain areas for certain strings to literally compensate for that different level of stretching within the strings. Okay? So that's a feature I was not expecting at all. Okay? That's really quite good. But this obviously is a right-handed instrument and I'm a left-handed player. So I will be making some changes to this ukulele in another video, okay, which again I will come to later. So real bone nut, real bone saddle. Also, can you see that in there? Where are we? Just in there. Don't know if you can see that. That's a truss rod. Okay. Now, obviously, most guitars have a truss rod. Not so many ukuleles have them, and certainly not the cheaper ones. You get a lot for your money here. Okay. Um, Again, was not expecting that. I knew it was in there because obviously I looked at the ad very closely. So yeah, it's got a truss rod. Now I'm just going to have a look down the neck right now, and I can see that the neck does underbow slightly. Okay, so I'll be making an adjustment to that to straighten that, because you really want the neck to be straight and level. If it is going to have a bow one way or the other, you would prefer slight underbow, because if you have overbow, which effectively would mean that the middle of the neck would be higher than each end, you're much more likely to get fret buzz. So if you want any kind of bow, underbow is better, but you want it as near to straight as possible. And it does have a slight underbow, a little bit too much for my liking, so I will be making an adjustment there. What else was it? Okay, so binding, as I said, the binding also travels up the neck, both sides. Okay, really nice binding, and even around this end as well. Now, what that means is the fret ends, you cannot feel them. No sharp edges there, which is great because it means I don't have to do a fret job. They're easy enough to do, but a lot better if you don't need it. Those frets are perfect. And even the ends of the nuts, sometimes you get a little bit of overhang at each end of the nut. Ever so slight, tiny, tiny amount, but I can live with that. That's not uncomfortable at all. Okay, so moving on. The overall build quality for the price, in my opinion, is absolutely amazing. Okay, so you get lots of features you wouldn't expect on the lower price bracket of ukuleles. Bone saddle, which is also compensated, truss rod, bone nut, proper binding along the fretboard so that the fret ends are not sharp at all. So that is the ukulele itself. I love this back. And also, I like the satin finish. I know some people prefer gloss finishes on their instruments. Personally, I don't. I like the satin finish. And this is just, it's hard to tell on the camera, but it's absolutely lovely. So I'm going to give it a really good inspection to see if there's any problems at all. By the way, there seems to be no damage from the battered box, so that's good. The neck joint to the body, yeah, absolutely fine, no problems at all. The binding along the fretboard, wow. So on this side, which has the fret dot markers for a right-handed player, there is a very, very slight discoloration on the binding there, and I can feel there's actually a little bit of glue there, which that's easy enough. You can scrape that off with your fingernail. The back, yeah, all good. It also comes with strap buttons at the bottom and at the top. That one's going to be no good to me because when I change it to left-handed, that'll be on the wrong side. But I'm not going to take it out because it will leave a hole there. I personally put the strap tied around the headstock anyway. That's my preference. I know some people don't like it that way. That's just the way I do it. The top, I cannot see any blemishes at all. The fretboard, it's all good. The neck, by the way, is quite shallow this way, but I like that. I don't like a fat, broad neck. Headstock all looks good. The headstock itself has a veneer on it as well, which matches the back and sides, and that's really, really nice too. So yeah, I cannot see. There's one or two very, very tiny, tiny marks that you would really have to look closely to see. But overall, brilliant. Okay, now as I said, I am going to be making some changes to this ukulele to suit me. First of all, this comes strung and tuned gCEA, just like your soprano, concert, and tenor ukuleles, which is unusual because that's not the standard for the baritone. As most of you will probably know, the standard tuning for the baritone is DGBE, equivalent to the top four strings of a guitar. So that's what this is going to get. Okay. Now that may in itself cause one or two really tiny issues. For example, the nut, I might have to modify the nut slightly to compensate, to accommodate the different string configuration and different string thicknesses from gCEA to DGBE. But I'll explain all that much better in the restring video, which will be part 2 of this video. And also the compensated bridge. Obviously, that's a right-handed bridge. Now, I don't know how well that's going to work when I change it to left-handed. It might put the intonation completely out. That being the case, I will make a new saddle for this out of bone. I have some bone blanks that I can make a bridges and nuts from. So I will start, if I have to do that, I will start by making just a normal straight flat saddle like you see on all of the other ukuleles with no compensation. I will try that first, and if the intonation is perfect on one or two of the strings and not so good on the others, then I may need to modify it with the compensation. Okay, so let's take a look at the accessories, and then I will get this tuned up and give it a little tinkle as best I can, being a left-hander. So, the bag of accessories. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. Okay, in no particular order, we've got a Joyo tuner. Okay, these are quite cheap tuners, but they work perfectly well. I've got dozens of the, not dozens, but I've got quite a few of various cheap tuners, and they just work perfectly fine. So why spend out on a really expensive one? Not necessary, in my opinion. Okay, so there it is. Just a normal clip-on tuner. It doesn't come with a battery. No battery. But that's fine because I've got plenty of batteries in stock in the shop. So let's just quickly put a battery in and see if it's working all right. What battery do we need? CR2032. Okay, so I've got plenty of those. CR2032. Let's bung one of those in and see what happens. You've got to be careful with these batteries not to get fingerprints all over them, especially on the back side. So try not to, and if you do, wipe with a clean cloth or your t-shirt. Okay, back on, he says. Okay, that works. I'm not going to try it out, I know it works. Okay, so the rest of the accessories, oh, okay. A strip of sandpaper. I don't know. No idea what that's for. I might look that up. Little bag of picks. There's 5 picks in there. I personally don't use picks on a ukulele. I know some people do. Not me. Ooh. Spare set of strings. Again, Aquila. Obviously, these will be the gCEA strings, so won't be using those, but always handy to have spare strings. These, obviously for the baritone ukulele, and the ones that I will be taking off, will be perfectly suitable for a tenor ukulele. So if I have any issues with any of my tenors, I've now got 2 sets of spare strings, so bonus. Strap. Now this is not what I was expecting. I'd seen it in the pictures, but I thought it was the normal broad strap. This is narrower. This is about 1 inch wide. So I think most straps are about 2.5 inches. So this is considerably smaller. So obviously specifically for smaller instruments such as ukulele. Now, I wasn't going to use the strap. I was going to use one of the many straps that I've got in stock in the shop. But I like that. I'm actually going to use that one on this ukulele. So obviously you've got the slit at one end for the strap button and at the other end as well, but they come with the string which I use to tie around the headstock. So I'll be doing that later. So I really like that strap and I'm going to use it. Okay, what else do we have in here? Let's see. Oh, very important. The wrench or Allen key for the truss rod. I've got dozens of these anyway, but it's always handy to have it in the kit. What else have we got here? Okay, a chord chart. Ukulele chord chart. Always useful. I think for a beginner package, this is really good. You get all sorts of useful accessories. So you've got a chord chart there for all of the major chords, but they include minors and sevenths, and also sharp minors. Anyway, so probably most or if not all of the chords you're ever going to need to play a myriad of songs and tunes. Also comes with a Kmise How to Play Ukulele Quick Start Guide. That's quite a thick book. There's 25 pages, so let's see what we've got in here. Introduction to the different sizes. We've got get to know your ukulele, how to hold your ukulele, how to tune your ukulele, how to read tablature, really useful for many people, finger picking, fretting, scales. Oh, that's interesting. Note. Please play and sing at the same time. You've been told. Yeah, so this is a really useful little booklet. It shows you arpeggios, however you say it, chords, strumming, palm muting. It's got some basic tunes: Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Wish You a Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, all the ones you're going to need, obviously. And there's another ukulele chord chart at the back. That's really useful. There's really lots of useful information in there for beginners. I'm not a beginner, but I'm by no means a professional player. But I will be taking a look through that and see just how useful that is, and I might even do a better review on that. So that's the accessories. Really good. Right. So let's get this thing tuned up and see what it sounds like. Okay, so I am going to use the new tuner that came with it, obviously just to see how good that is as well. Now, I'm not going to be able to play it particularly well because, as I said, it's right-handed at the moment, and I'm not. But let's just see how it sounds. So it's upside down, obviously. Okay, let's just put that down a bit. Well, that's interesting. It's obviously a little bit out of tune, but it does sound as though they'd brought this up to pitch before shipping it. Not a good idea normally. Thankfully, it's not caused any damage because it can do. Normally, they would send, excuse me, send instruments out without having been tuned up. So that's a bit unusual. Anyway, let's see. I'm having to do this upside down. G, C, E, A. I know that the camera and the microphone on my laptop that I'm recording this on are not particularly good, so you may not get a full feeling of what this really sounds like, but yeah, sounds great. So I'm going to have a go at just strumming the basic chords. Obviously, I have to just figure out how to do them all upside down for now. So C, A minor, F, and whee! That's not a G7, is it? Hold on. Okay, maybe we'll forget that one. Okay, C. Why is that wrong? I don't know what's that. Anyway. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this one for now. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you will enjoy part 2 as well, which will be coming later today. I can't wait anymore. I've got to get this restrung for me and give it a go. One thing I did forget to mention is I had a look inside at the bracing, because when you're changing an instrument from right-handed to left-handed or vice versa, with some instruments, they are specifically braced inside for right-handed or left-handed if it's a left-handed one. From what I can see, this is a symmetrical bracing job, which is good, which means that I don't need to make any changes there or have to worry about it. And it's also X bracing. Now, what that means is that you have inside, you have a brace which goes from here to here and here to here in an X shape. And you have other braces that will be in various places around that, in strategic places. So that's good, because that means that you can string this either way with any kind of strings, apart obviously not steel strings, and it will be absolutely fine. No warping, no bending, no cracking, no breaking, nothing. No problems at all. I've done it dozens of times on many different instruments, even not as good as this, and never had any problems. If it was what we call ladder bracing, which is braces that literally just go across here, 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 like a ladder. That is normally for the really, really cheap and nasty instruments. Not always. Sometimes, even the high-end ones have that ladder bracing, but it's much more elaborate. In the really cheap ones, it's just a big chunk of wood that goes across there, another one across there, another one across there, and that's your lot. And it's like a bit of 4x2 in there. It's ridiculous. They're useless. But the bracing in this is, yeah, it's good. So even the bracings on the back, so you've got a big one that goes across here and another one across here. So yeah, there will be no problems at all with that. So I'm looking forward to doing that and sharing my experience with you. So as I said, that will be later today. I just cannot wait any longer. Okay, so thank you again for your time. Also, I would like to thank everybody who commented, liked, and shared my last video. All of the comments and all of the likes and everything, they're all much appreciated. And I do this not only for myself, but for you guys as well. So hopefully, so you enjoyed this video and you got some useful information from it. So the next video is going to be restringing this from gCEA to DGBE and also from right-handed to left-handed. The stringing process is exactly the same for left-handed or right-handed, so you don't have to worry about, is it done differently? No, it's exactly the same, obviously just in reverse. So that will be later today. Actually, just before I go, I just want to check the intonation with this compensated bridge because, as I said, I probably will need to change. Sorry, the saddle. I probably will need to change it. So G. So to check the intonation, as I'm sure most of you know, get it up to pitch and then fret it at the 12th, and it should be the same note but an octave higher. Okay, so G. Yeah, sounds okay, but it's not registering on this cheap tuner, so I'll check it again later. C. E, E, E. Okay, it does sound like the intonation is pretty much spot on, but it's not registering on this tuner, so I will check it with one of my slightly better ones later before I do the video of the restringing, just to check it for myself. It's not anything we'll really need to know much about. Okay, so that's it for now. And as I said, part 2 will be the restringing of this and a little bit of playing as well. Not too much because I'm not that good. Anyway, thanks again, guys, and see you soon. Bye bye.